Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
Good morning. Welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks. My name's Dave Snowberger, and today I'm joined in the studio with my man, Marshall Tucker.
What's going on?
That was super annoying.
I think we harmonized there for half a second.
If I was listening to that in my car, I'd be like off.
Yep. There was a
Anyway.
CD, throw it out the window.
Oh, yeah. So what we're doing today, what are we talking about today? We were just talking on the way over to the studio about, I was lecturing you in a sense about what your job is daily. And I asked you a question and you said, to call my leads. To do this. I'm sorry, I made you sound like a dope.
I don't sound like that.
Sorry, I made you sound like a dope there. But, it's like to call your leads. And so really it was the fact that if you're not hearing the no word, if you're not hearing no 10 times a day, you are not, in a sense, doing your job.
Dave, can I get a higher split?
No.
There's one.
like you're worried about splits. Get the hell out of here. You make so much money. Jeez Louise. So, okay. So let's talk about that a little bit more, And so typically I want to touch on a few different things here. None of it's organized. None of it's thought out. We do have our whiteboard behind us,
That's
but it
how
is
we like to fly.
completely blank for some reason. We just came in here and turned the mics on. And so let's get to it. We were talking about really, if you're not hearing no, you're not doing your job. And so typically people think, and agents think, when we say that you need to prospect 2 to 3 hours a day, or you need to have 10 conversations a day, right? What is you as a realtor, what do you think when I say those kind of things? I'm a realtor also. I'm the team leader, right? And so I tell you this, like, hey, you need to be hearing 10 times a day, or hearing no 10 times a day, or you need to go for 10 conversations a day. What do you think there?
Oh, well, I used to think that you meant for me to get on the phone and call up people until they actually say no, go for no.
Right.
And so just get up there and dial and, do you want to buy real estate? No. Are you looking to buy a home? No. You looking to sell a home? No. I'm done.
Right. And so what the whole going for no thing is if you set a goal in front of you to hit, say 2 appointments a day, if you get 2 appointments a day, that you're doing pretty damn good in the first place. However, just put it in perspective here. If you go for 2 appointments, you're going to quit at that second one, correct?
Right.
If you're going for 20 no's a day, 30 no's a day, or 40 no's a day, how many appointments could you set then?
Quite a bit.
All of a sudden,
They're all saying yes. I'm going to keep going.
Right. And so, the if you're hearing the word no, and it's not the actual word no, right? It's the rebuttal of like, not right now. I'm not doing this right now. I'm not really interested. Those are no's, right? And people take me at word that it's no. That's not what you're searching for. You're trying to get the door closed in your face as many times as possible so you can really rebut your way out of the conversation to get the yes, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. And so prospecting in the morning, what's that look like as far as is going for no's? When I tell you to have conversations, does that start? It starts for me like at Orange Theory.
Right.
That's where I have my first 2 to 3
It's
conversations.
not necessarily the phone. I think that's where you're going with it.
Right.
It could be conversation anywhere where you go for breakfast and you're talking to the waitress and this conversation just naturally goes to, hey, are you looking to sell your house? And she's going to say no. And then you're going to say, well, do you know anyone that I could help today?
Yeah. Or that's kind of lame when I hear that. Do you know I can help today?
It's not really word for word like that,
right.
but it's how the conversation is.
I get it. It's like going for the no. So, but yeah, it's never like, do you know anybody I can help today? I mean, I always hear coaches and people in the real estate world selling that stuff. And I just kind of scratch my head, but what I would do is that I bank on that I'm going to see this person again.
Right.
Right. And so if I don't go in for the kill or the close right there, it's not that I'm doing a disservice to myself. I'm building rapport with people. I'm letting them get to know me without being a salesman of sorts.
Think about it everywhere you go. When you go to the bank, when you go to your favorite restaurant, when you go drop your kid off at school, all those people you see all the time. Do you just kind of skate on by and never say anything more than a smile and a little wave? Or do you actually get the time to know their name, to know what they do there, to talk to them a little bit about their life?
Absolutely.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, we do it when we go to restaurants, and especially if we're going to do a Wilco Eats or something, it gives us an opportunity to tell people, hey, we're going to be filming in a second. Do you mind being in it? And if you do mind, just get the F out of the way. Usually it's not like that. You're supposed to laugh a little bit. Give me something that shows me again you're not paying attention.
Get the fun out of the
way. Anyway, so it's really just the conversations that you can have all day long can count towards those 5 conversations. And now you realize 5 conversations is really easy to do a day.
Right.
And now 10 conversations is your next goal. Right. And so if you have to baby step things, I get it. I've been there before. And it's always easier for someone on the other side of the microphone or the YouTube screen or whoever else telling you to go do these things. However, put yourself in action. You have to start doing the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them at a high level. And I would put having conversations in is something you need to be very good at to have success in this career. If anybody wants to rebuke that, just hit me up at info@realestateontherocks.com and you tell me how you're doing so great without having conversations. I'd love to hear about it because I think we'd all like to get there. Less conversations would be great. So I can hear Melanie in the next room.
Another great place for conversations if you're a part of any kind of clubs. I know Dave's interested in some car clubs. I go to the dog park, whatever. Anywhere that you're around people of similar likes than you, that's a perfect way to segue into the conversation to get it started. And then how to naturally drift it towards real estate.
Yeah, one of my things is I like cars. So I like to surround myself with people with high-end sports cars. And so what do people with high-end sports cars have? They have a high net worth, right? What do they buy? Also, other than just sports cars?
Houses.
Homes.
Right.
A lot of times investment properties.
True.
You never know until you talk to people, right? And so any group you can get in, I don't care if it was a Jeep club, a Mini Cooper club, I don't think there's many clubs for like Honda Civics and things like that. Or it might be, maybe like those little Fast and Furious hopped up cars.
Subarus.
Yeah. Subarus, yeah. You can join a softball team. There you go. So, all those things right there, they put you in front of people to have more conversations. If you start having more conversations every day, the absolute success is almost guaranteed that you're going to start seeing more things happen for you. The harder you work at this, the luckier you'll get at getting more clients in.
And those conversations don't need to be all about you. They need to be about the other person.
No, always ask questions, right? Yeah, you always want to be a service of other people. And so how you can do that is ask great questions, Man, what year Porsche is that? How'd you pick the color?
Is this your daily driver? You take this to work? Where do you work?
How fast is that thing? Right? Yeah. So, I mean, man, to have that kind of car, you must be banking, bro. What do you do? Oh, you're a broker? You're a stockbroker? You're a financial advisor? Oh, cool. So you probably have clients that have to sell homes all the time, and whatever else and look for write-offs and blah, blah, blah. So 1031 exchanges, things like that. You ever work with that? And it just segues me into asking more questions, right? And so if you're having conversations, you're asking questions, and you're just doing a data collection on people, and don't make that sound disingenuous there, that data collection, because that's really what this is really you want to get to know more people. That's data. That's data that... But
you can't have a relationship without the key elements there.
Right.
So... Yeah.
Right. And so when you're at the mailbox, I know when I go to the mailbox, I typically take my time. I'll take the golf cart down to the mailbox. People ask me about the golf cart. Start talking about it a little bit. Didn't know we can have golf carts in the neighborhood. Yeah, it's a master plan community, so we can have golf carts. Man, I didn't know that. Where'd you buy the golf cart? Now they're asking me questions, And so I'm like, hey, you want to buy my golf cart? Because I never use it. I just check the mail with it. It's pretty stupid. So, little things like that. So when we go to the pool, other parents at the pool, try to strike out conversation with them. Yeah, Marshall hit it there, the gun range. I mean, any kind of interest you have.
It doesn't have to be necessarily in person either. Like right now, I'm trying to infiltrate the Doberman group on Facebook. So there's about 15 to 30,000 people in there. They all love Dobermans. I can help people all across the United States. It doesn't matter to me whether it's a referral or if they're local, I can help them. And so I'm just kind of getting in there, putting pictures of my puppy and kind of doing the same principles I did with my kids when they were younger, but now I just got a puppy and kind of just spotlighting that and trying to make conversations happen, adding friends and just naturally letting the conversations happen.
Absolutely. So just try to find something that works in your advantage, and really works for both advantage. I mean, how can I help this person? A lot of times you can see how you can help somebody without them knowing it yet. Right. And so if I ask more questions, I can see how I can help serve this person, how I can help them in their needs. Do they want to buy investment property? Maybe. Yesterday had the refrigerator guy. Our Samsung fridge is on the fritz, right?
Uh-oh.
And so it's making some weird noise. And so we call somebody out. He comes out. I took the Mini Cooper home, which is wrapped in our real estate, with our real estate name on it, right? And so he comes to the door. We start talking. He goes, "So you in real estate?" Asking me questions, right? I wasn't even thinking. I was like, "Dude, just hurry up."
Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, you better go catch it. So he asked me, "You in real estate?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you rent houses?" And I was like, "Yeah, from time to time. I mostly do it for investors." And he's like, "Is there still time to rent?" And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And he's like, "Well, I know, aren't we in a hot season?" And I was like, "Well, rentals in Austin, around Austin, Round Rock, Texas, Cedar Park, they're always in season, right?" And so, "What do you have?" And so I turned it and started asking him questions. Well, we're going to go ahead and take that listing for him, full price. Which is,
So he didn't want to rent. He wants to lease his place out.
Yeah. He's got it sitting there. He says it's been sitting there empty for 2 years. And so now he wants to start making money on it.
2 years of nothing going on.
Right. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, dude, right now prices are going for about $1 a square foot." Right. And he was blown away because it's an 1,800 square foot place. And all he was anticipating was getting around 1,400.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "Well, I don't want 1,800. I want to provide some value in there." I was like, "I get it, but I go in strong at 1,650, and I can get at least probably within 7 days." Nice. He's like, "Cool, let's do it." And that was all from just my car, sitting there. So that was able to start a conversation once again. Mm-hmm. And I had a meaningful conversation. So I marked my conversations down yesterday. I sent out 4 video texts to leads and people that are wanting to sell their homes. I followed up with about 10 people. I was able to get a hold of 4 of those people also and have a conversation. And then I had numerous conversations outside of the office. So all in all, yesterday, I think I was in the upwards about 15 to 16 conversations, right?
Right.
And so what's going to come out of that? Business, right?
Right.
We're in the people business. We're in the conversation business. Have more conversations, you'll get more people that want to do business with you.
I was just thinking back to when we first kind of started the whole conversations. It wasn't natural for me just to strike up a conversation with a stranger. And how I kind of got over that was we were walking the street fairly regularly to go get coffee, and we would pass people by that we would pass every day on the street. And so one day I just turned to them and I said, "Hi," and just kept on walking. And then the next day they beat me to it. They were like, "Hi." And then from there, the conversations with the coffee guy and the print guy, they just naturally came. So you can start off easy by just saying hello and count on saying hello and a little bit more next time, and it will just build upon itself.
Absolutely.
Plus, you'll make somebody's day.
Yeah. I mean, typically when you say hi, people are pretty well versed these days that nobody wants to talk to anybody. But trust me, there's people out there. It's ingrained in our human DNA. Most of us like to have conversations with people. Most of us like to converse back and forth, find out who people are. I love meeting new people. That's one thing I do absolutely love about this career. And especially the coaching part of it is the agents we get to meet, the people we get to talk to. It's fascinating to see people's limiting beliefs and their doubts. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating to help people get over those things. And I love taking, something from really nothing, a huge nothing conversation into a friendship and seeing people flourish and start doing business with just some actionable tips of the trade that we can throw out there through this podcast. So I absolutely love meeting people every single day, and I love having conversations. Now, do I want to have conversations all the time?
No.
Especially when I walk in the morning, I want my coffee. I want some
I'm like, emails. "Hi, Dave. How's you doing today? What'd you do this morning? How was last night?"
High eyes can take a hike.
Bring some coffee.
Yeah, high eyes can take a hike. Actually, Marshall brought me coffee today, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Give me coffee, dude." And he's just like,
"It's time to talk."
He knows that I'm in that mood, and I don't want to talk quite yet. But he drugs me up real quick with my caffeine.
Hey, one last pro tip: when you're talking to people, especially in the service industry, and you're asking them those questions, ask them how you can help their business. It will naturally come back to you as far as what can they do for you. And then you can set it up. And
that's one thing, too. You talked about people in the service business. I think a lot of people judge books by their covers. Don't ever underassume or assume that anybody you can't help them in real estate.
Right.
Whether it's a rental now and 2-3 years down the road, college students right now, helping them with rentals, helping just helping people in general with real estate questions.
You never know someone's financial situation. So if they have a little dirt on their face, they're out there working on the road, they got to live somewhere too.
Dude, you got a guy right now that owns a construction company that shows up in a $100,000 truck. You didn't know because you're not a car guy.
Right.
But when he rolls in this thing, I'm like, dude, that truck's like $125,000.
It's pretty loud, Dave.
You knew that it was cool. You just didn't know what kind of truck it was.
Until we got to his house and
and you get to his car and he's got custom cars, everything else, and it's like, holy crap! Construction pays for all this stuff. This guy makes a great living.
Yeah.
And it's not that we had doubted him in any sense, but when I met him, I was like, sorry, Marshall, I'm taking this client over. But anyway, I'm going to sell his house and Marshall's going to sell him a house, so it all works out. So anyway, let's go ahead and get out of the studio here. You know what we're going to say next. Mike Harrell, Guaranteed Rate. You reach him at info@realestateontherocks.com. If you're having a problem with a client that you can't typically get approved, if Mike Harrell can't do it, I would say that nobody can. And so Guaranteed Rate has been working great for us. They are fantastic, and his attention to detail and his whole staff that keeps us looped into the whole deal, you won't regret it. He does work in California, so any California listeners, you might want to give him a try. Obviously, Texas, you can give him a try. And then Arkansas. I got it right.
Right.
Dang.
I just want to plug him real quick. Also, I was in a deal yesterday and submitted my offer, put the pre-qual letter on there, and the agent actually called me back and we were talking about the terms of the contract, and he was like, I see that you have Mike Harrell as your lender on this. I've worked with Mike before. I know he's a great lender, and we're happy to move forward with this contract. And so just a little plug for Mike.
Maserati Mike.
Maserati.
Yep.
Mike.
He wears Vans just like I do. So we've actually known each other since probably 9th grade. So we're in our 40s now. So we've known each other quite some time. So if you want more information about eXp Realty, send that to joinexp at 88000. Join EXP to 88,000. I'd love to talk to you more about that. However, it's not a prerequisite to listen to this podcast, so don't be turned off by the EXP thing. We're just trying to get the word out of how fantastic we think the model is. Dave Snowberger, Marshall Tucker, we are out today.
I'm out.